It's the Sittin Sportside Podcast, exclusively on 1045theteam.com.
It is the Sittin Sportside Podcast right here.
Round 3. Technically, I'm not wrong.
On today?
Today, it's round 3. You know, we talked about that, and we're doing 3 in one day. That's impressive.
The silka for me.
No hateration, holleration. That's a song Jalen Hurts is singing right now.
Stop, Mike.
What? Am I wrong?
He's singing a song about a family affair. So I guess that makes sense because he's having he had a little issues with his family. So this is another edition of I Got a Question, bro. This is the segment that we're doing. We're doing it nonstop. And if you have a question, you tweet it at EricH1045, at MikeJames1045.
And Sportside Tweets.
How often do you check your mentions on that?
Dude, it's connected to my phone. Nobody ever tweets us. Tweet us. Just
tweet us. Because if you have a question, you need to ask somebody about sports specifically, but anything, really, ask us. Ask us the question. You'll be featured on this segment.
You feeling froggy?
We're doing
right now?
this every single week, Mike James, because we hope to have something special to announce at some point. But at least today, we're announcing this today that we're doing this every single week.
I got a question for you. Hey, cue them.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
Are you feeling froggy today, Eric Hammond?
Am I feeling froggy?
Because nobody's yet to tweet to us. I feel like...
What does froggy got to do with it?
You smell that? You know, a giveaway to somebody that actually feels nice enough to tweet us?
Giveaway? Are you talking back to that thing that we had on that one podcast that went on way too long?
Maybe if we do it like now, you think maybe somebody will actually tweet at us?
Well, go back and listen to... All right. I will say this. If you tweet a hashtag... You know what? It doesn't even have to be the hashtag. It doesn't have to be a hashtag.
Just tweet us.
All you have to do is go back and listen to a past podcast and tell us whose grandma we called. That's it.
Oh.
That's it.
Yes.
Answer that question. It's very cryptic, but if you listen to old podcasts, you'd be able to... You know what? Actually, that podcast, in all fairness, did not last long because it was about certain things that happened on a particular weekend, so no one would want to listen to that after it happened. But we've mentioned it in other podcasts. It hasn't just been that one.
Yeah. I think.
What do you think?
How about if you actually tweet us whose grandma we called?
Yeah, what we have to start doing, Mike James, our generic podcast. And I know we're doing this all over the air right now, but top 5 Yankees of all time or top 5 this of all time.
Yeah.
Things that people will listen to.
Well, that's what I'm thinking right now.
2019 or could have listened back in 2018.
If you tweet us whose grandma we called, but you have to use at EricH1045, at MikeJames1045, at Sportside Tweets. This is simple.
Any one of them, though. Any
one of them. First person that we can confirm to who, we will check date, time, etc.
But you're missing the point on this. We are giving people an opportunity just to tweet us a question.
Well, what I'm saying.
Any single question, and you listen back every single week to this podcast, and we answer your question. That's it. That's it. How many times do you have a question, and you want to ask somebody about it, but you're like, I can't because, all the phones are busy on the Vac and Guys, or they're not answering the phone on Big Board Sports. Here we are. Ask us the question. If your doctor's not answering the question of, why do I feel tired every time I listen to the national Stephen A. Smith show, we'll answer that. Mm-hmm. We'll tell you why. Because he thinks that Alvin Kamara is Kareem Hunt. That's why.
They're not the same person?
I mean, everyone misspeaks sometimes, but that's pretty blatant.
I mean, they are now because they're both playing golf.
Not even the same initials. Not even the same name.
Not even the same team.
Not even the same team. Of course not.
But.
Not to pile on Stephen A. Smith here, but the guy thought Hunter Henry had played all season for the Chargers. He's in a rough year. He had a rough 2018. He had a rough early 2019 so far. Hopefully, it gets better for him, I guess. I don't know. But it's better for us because we have the opportunity to ask questions to each other in this segment as well. And here I go.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
Why is the Jalen Hurts move so good for Oklahoma? Why am I feeling this, Mike James? Why am I feeling that I finally have confidence that Oklahoma can be competitive for the college football playoff? Why am I feeling that?
because Hurts knows how to get the job done. The guy lost, 2 games at the start at Alabama, right? Something like that. I think 2 games. He's like something like ridiculous.
Something like that. There's
30-2 or
obviously
something.
The biggest blemish on his record is being subbed out in the championship game at halftime and Tagovailoa winning it for them.
How about this year?
But it doesn't count as a loss for him. But
they most likely, if they lose to Georgia, still make the playoff. But Hurts single-handedly brought them back against Georgia in the SEC.
Right, they're down
game.
a touchdown when it comes in, and then they scored both 2 touchdowns to win it.
I honestly think he's the difference the Sooners need to make a run deep into the playoffs this year. And I honestly think he's got a chance to win the Sooners third straight Heisman. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to have something to say about that next year. That kid is good.
True. It's not the craziest thing I've heard, though. It really isn't. I could see it happening for sure. The way you put up numbers over there at Oklahoma, I mean, the guy knows how to do it.
He put up numbers at Alabama.
But aren't you losing 2 really good receivers?
Yeah, but he's still got CeeDee Lamb.
Is it Broadway?
Yeah, he's losing Marquise Broadway Brown. I think Calcaterra's done now too.
Okay. But
he's got CeeDee Lamb.
You got people stepping up
fast. He's losing Rodney Anderson.
I just loved when I heard this. I was like, "Really? Oklahoma is getting Jalen Hurts? I mean, I think
it's huge.
That's a big time get. I mean, that's legitimate to me to think that I've been probably one of the bigger Oklahoma haters. If there was no way they really could have won with Baker last year, I was like, really? I'm not a big Kyler. Kyler's not going to lead into a championship, and it's still going to be the same knock. The defense isn't going to be good, but just the fact that they got Jalen Hurts now, maybe because of his pedigree, really. I feel like this is actually a legitimate reason to say, look, this is an Oklahoma team that's a force to be reckoned with and actually has a chance to be competitive against Alabama in the college football playoff.
I love it because we have the number 1 kid out of high school, number 1 quarterback out of high school coming this year, too. I vote you sit him this year, redshirt him or not redshirt him, whatever. Let him learn behind Jalen this year, too. I think that can only help the kid. It can't hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that leadership is going to help. The leadership in the locker room. The guy's been there.
I would say so too. I mean, the guy's been there and done that, and he'll be a senior. So
yeah,
he had all the opportunity. He has 2 coaching staffs that have pedigree.
The best part is he graduated, so he's a graduate.
Nick Saban's
grad transfer
leadership, right? Exactly. Nick Saban's leadership to teach the kid on, and the current coaches that they have right now, and Lincoln Riley. So there's so much that I just liked on that move. But do you have a question next, or do you want me to go?
I got one.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
Eric, did you see that cocky prick Steph Curry fall flat on his face last night? I had to word it this way because he was so arrogant.
Cocky.
How in the world?
Really, Mike?
Yeah, I had to word it that way. How do you look? You're so confident in yourself. You look like a complete and utter tool bag. You go for a wide open layup and then fall flat on your face. Oh, then you get the rebound and put up a 3 and airmail it? Come on, man. Did you see that?
I did see it. But look, these things happen to the best of us. It was really funny. The best part about it was he gets a wide open 3 in the corner and he airballs it.
I think that's actually
ultimately he'll have
falling.
the last laugh if he wins his 4th ring this year. Regardless, so he has 3 rings. He has a NBA MVP award. Doesn't have a Finals MVP award. He'll also what am I trying to say? He'll lead the NBA all time in threes. Will probably shatter that so much so that unless it really is a new age of basketball, no one will touch. So we'll ultimately have the last laugh, but this was fun to watch. It was fun to see Steph Curry.
Here's another funny question.
We are both not Steph Curry fans, and I feel like the young generation loves Steph Curry.
Oh man, don't get me wrong. The guy can play ball. I will not take that away from him, but I just think he's too cocky. And to me, him falling like that,
there's no reason to be either.
Yeah,
Wait,
but him falling like that though just made me die. I was like, that is great. I'm glad he didn't get seriously hurt.
Obviously,
Let me
one
put
of the
it this
best
way.
shooters in the NBA, if not the best. Of course, someone would be like, "Of course he's the best. How can you not say for sure he's the best?" You know what? I really do feel like there's some better actual pure shooters. I think Kyle Korver is one of the best 3-point shooters of all time.
Yeah.
Actual clear shooters. I think even
Ray
Klay
Allen's
Thompson.
better.
Klay Thompson had a really rough stretch this season. Klay Thompson did, but I just do believe that pure shooters wise, in terms of catch and shoot on a lot of these guys, Steph isn't necessarily the best, but off the dribble, he's probably the best of all time.
Yeah, he's
the dribble, he's probably the best of all time.
He's ridiculously good. But to me, I'm glad he didn't get seriously hurt because if he got seriously hurt, I'd feel bad. Thank God he didn't get hurt. but it was really funny. I'm sorry. He just completely whiffed. Here's a funny question for you.
More fun.
If he's playing baseball, Angel Hernandez is the umpire at the base.
Wait.
Is he safe?
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
If he's playing baseball and he's going to the base, he's sliding into the base on that play, and Angel Hernandez is the umpire. Is he safe or is he out? Or do we go to replay?
How do I answer this question, though?
Because you know he's going to get it wrong. He can't get anything right, so you know he's going to get it wrong.
This is just a knock on Angel Hernandez out of nowhere. Baseball season is still a month or so away, and you just wanted to make sure we got your digs in 2019 on Angel Hernandez.
First one of the year, too.
First one of the year.
By the way.
Yeah, true.
That I said on air.
All right, I got another one.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
We mentioned this on our previous podcast. It's up on 1045theteam.com on the podcast tab of Sittin Sportside Podcast. That will take you to the youtube.com/team1045 Sittin Sportside Podcast playlist. That's a mouthful, but I've gotten that down, haven't I?
Proud of you. Air pound.
Yeah, we're no longer in the studio. That made us. We have decent, chemistry right now.
Yeah,
but
I like the other. I kind of like
the monitor's still in
better.
front of us now. The other one was nice. We
But
should go back to it.
This worked today, for this one, last two, because Gaz was here for the last one, so it's like
True
we're
that.
not switching.
True that. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. We mentioned in another podcast about this whole New Orleans Saints fans now suing the league or what? They're filing the lawsuits so that Goodell can pull this actual thing that he can do now to make
Section
declare
17.
the Saints the winner of the football game.
Sorry, Rule 17, Section 2.3.
Why? Not to channel a different segment from a show on 104.5 The Team, but why?
Can
What
I
do they
make
think
it,
this is going to do? It made national news. I guess that's
Can I
why.
make
But
a kind of disturbing, not really disturbing, but uneasy comment that somebody made on my Facebook post yesterday?
viewer discretion is advised.
I'm not trying to offend anybody, and this is funny, but it's not funny. Somebody commented on it. One of my friends commented that New Orleans hasn't been this salty since a catastrophic event happened. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Why? Because rain is salty?
Well,
Is that the joke?
we'll go with that. I kind of had to chuckle, and I was like, that's kind of wrong, but it was actually really funny.
Hey, there's a lyric by Flo Rida, a guy who's near and dear to our hearts because of the open that we have for so many podcasts. There's a lyric that he says, I make them wetter than Katrina. Yeah. So, not
Think
the
we get
first,
Flo Rida
not
on
the
our
first
podcast?
joke. And
How
a
cool
lot of
would that
people.
be?
That would be cool. Viewer discretion was advised, by the way.
Yeah.
But you know what I say? That guy that probably says,
Sorry, not sorry. Okay.
and you know what they're saying up at New Orleans fans are saying about that call and whether or not it should have been pass interference.
No duh.
You know, I don't know what's funny, the fact that I was actually here when that happened, or that I'm hearing it again now. But yeah, I mean, to me, what's more disturbing, take the pass interference out of it, because I am sick and tired of they're talking about all these headshots, concussions. Wake up, NFL! Your referees are clearly missing head-to-heads. The head-to-head, the no call on the helmet to helmet disturbs me more than the no call on the pass interference.
So
because but all they do is talk about protecting heads. But they're not going to call it helmet to helmet. Come on,
was that helmet to helmet?
that's what they said. They said it was helmet to helmet on top of the pass interference. To me,
Wow.
you let them. Okay, worst.
There's a lot of missed
call.
calls in the NFL. All right, here, not to at risk. And Alvin Kamara tweets at this guy, my boy, the guy who's done it, Matthew Bowers.
Oh, I thought you were saying he tweeted at us.
No, but he
Kamara
tweeted at
us.
very. He's very pleased with what's going on here, according to this guy, who is now at the risk of sounding like I didn't prepare for this, but reading the article and seeing the Adam Schefter tweet, the guy's putting up billboards saying NFL blew it with the classic French way to spell blue, BLEAUX, the bayou.
That was funny.
Saints got robbed. Billboards all over the place. How
put
many
that on the
times
punch or
and
char train,
my dad will never listen to this podcast. Not that he doesn't listen to me, but he doesn't seek out the podcast. How many times have my dad been watching a sporting event or seen something on a sporting event and the way that they covered something and says, I'm going to write them a letter. Or I'm going to write them. This was wrong. They shouldn't do this. Oh, if I had a Twitter account, I'd tweet at the NFL. No, sorry, Dad. But
I've
he
done
gets
that.
upset.
It doesn't work.
He gets upset about these things. But Matt Bowers, this guy, is just a normal citizen like you and me, Saints fan, like we're Jets fan. Well, maybe not like you're a Jets fan, but
I still love my pathetic disgrace of a dumpster fire.
But fans of a team just like you and I are, and he went out and said, you know what? I'm going to make this a public thing. I'm going to make this something that Adam Schefter is going to pick up and tweet. I'm going to make this something that they're going to talk on talk shows. I'm going to make sure the NFL sees this, that we're upset with it. Because when my dad and I just yell at the TV about bad reffing when we're watching these guys, or even you or anyone else who listens to this podcast who yells at the refs through the TV, NFL's not hearing that. They're just getting the ratings. This is something we all know that the displeasure is out there, but this is a guy actually taking action. That's why he did it. I answered my own question, and I am very, very pleased with that.
I'm offended that you think I yell at the TV.
Fine. Do you yell at the TV?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've been known to throw things at the TV.
Exactly.
Funny story. I'm going to go back probably like 10, 15 years at least. I was at my old house. I was watching, I don't know if it was a Yankee game or whatever. Had one of those old square box, those big box TVs that don't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. That kids look at you and go, what is that? I had a square pillow. I got really mad. I chucked it at the TV. It literally landed perfectly right on the front of the TV. I was like, I could do that again if I tried.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I have some more questions. Do you have one for before I go?
You can go.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
Okay, first off, why haven't Manny Machado or Bryce Harper signed yet? What the heck is going on?
Next question.
Evan Longoria, all these guys, what's going on?
Next question. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, what's taking so long?
I think they're almost doing it on purpose just to be jerks. There's no reason why they shouldn't. It's almost February for God's sakes.
Do you agree? Did you see the Evan Longoria post complaining with the MLB?
I almost think that these two want so much money that they're refusing to take less.
My issue with the Evan Longoria post. I have no problem with him speaking up for his fellow players and say how ridiculous, how they don't want to spend this much money and that we're MLB players, we should get paid all this money. Boo-hoo, you're making 150 instead of making 160. Wimpy. 175 million instead of making 300 million. I should feel bad for you. Sorry, Evan Longoria, I don't feel bad for you that you're making less money than you think you should.
He's not that good. I'm sorry.
He's just talking about players in general. He was speaking out about Bryce Harper and speaking out about Manny Machado in the market. That's what he was talking about. Not himself, but he's part of that. But he's part of that though. He's part of those people. Here's the thing, though. The ironic part about that statement for me with Evan Longoria, like, fine, go. If you want to speak out, speak your piece, speak your truth, whatever, blah, blah. The ironic part about that for me is the reason, like, someone like Manny Machado isn't signed are people like him who are cheaper options. Mm-hmm. Evan Longoria is on the block right now with the San Francisco Giants. So what you could do if you're a team right now, instead of going out and signing Manny Machado for that $200 million or more, you could just say, hey, call up the Giants and say, hey, How much for a trade for Evan Longoria? That's the ironic part to me is there is a thing called a free market, and teams are deciding, you know what, we think paying Evan Longoria less and having to give up very little to get a guy like Evan Longoria would be better than actually paying this much money to Manny Machado. That is a free market, and that is why this is taking so long because teams don't necessarily need to feel like they feel. So right now in the free market, I get, you think Manny Machado is the best third baseman out there? Yankees decided we don't need him. All these other teams are deciding we don't need him, and the teams that say we do need him don't have as big a demand from other teams, so they don't have to offer him what he wants.
It's funny you say that because there's talks going around that the Yankees want Nolan Arenado right now.
That's next year. He'll be a free agent.
Well, I'm hearing they might try and trade
him right now.
No, the trade deadline. Somebody made a good point.
They've made the playoffs 2 consecutive years. Let's not forget that.
Why would you trade for Arenado, give up prospects, et cetera, right now, and then have to pay him after next year? I mean, you could just
see that happening.
Machado.
That's just more
I would
Yankee
rather
banter
take Machado
talk,
right now.
That's more Yankee banter talk. That's not something that I foresee happening if it is a huge amount of prospects.
I don't see it.
There's no way that's happening. And the only reason why it would happen is because someone like Miguel Andujar or people that you signed did not live up to the bill, and you feel like you're not a good enough team to win that season of the World Series. That's the only reason I can see it happening at the deadline.
All right, I got a question for you.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
2-part question. First part, are you glad Sonny...
Well, can I counter with a question myself?
Sure.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
A little overkill there, but Why is Sonny Gray going to be so good in Cincinnati, in my opinion?
Because he's no longer going to be a Yankee.
Yeah, I mean, come on. This is like the most lose-lose situation for the Yankees. You want to know why? Fine. I'll say
Cincinnati might win the NL Central this year?
It's lose, win, lose. How about that?
Oh, that's interesting. Go ahead.
It's a lose, win, lose. The loss starts off of you gave up James Caprillion, a guy who could be a good pitcher in this league.
Off Tommy John surgery,
off Tommy John surgery, but there's players out there that are off Tommy John surgery that are doing really good things in the Major League Baseball right now. Let's not forget that. Takes
Dexter
a while.
Fowler Jr.
Takes
is
a
lucky
while.
to be walking.
That's still a prospect that you gave up.
Not Dexter Fowler.
Not Dexter Fowler. You got Dexter Fowler in my
What is his
head.
name?
Dustin Fowler.
Dustin Fowler.
That's a solid player. You don't need him, but he's a solid player. You can use these prospects for other things because you already traded away a guy like Billy McKinney. Now you had to go out and make this deal. The guy you actually got from the Mariners in this deal after the three-way trade after getting Shed Long and sending him to the Mariners. He's an outfield prospect because you kind of lost out on your outfield prospects because you already traded a bunch of them, including a guy like Blake Rutherford that you traded for to the White Sox.
This is my second part of the question. Did they trade Shed Long for that kid from Seattle to go get Kluber?
Let me finish what I'm saying. So you lose those two, and then you lose Jorge Mateo too. Regardless of those are going to be Yankee players, you traded those three prospects for basically nothing. The win is you get him off the roster. You did not want him on the roster. That's not much of a win, though, because regardless of not, you could have him not on your roster. You could do whatever the heck you want with them, put him out on waivers and eat the money. I don't know. They didn't have to eat the money. That's another part of the win. So that's part of that win. The other lose, though, is what I said at the top of it. I feel like he's going to be a really good pitcher in Cincinnati. I know that the Cincinnati ballpark is not ideal to go to, but if you look at the splits, he had like a 3-something on the road with the Yankees, 78 strikeouts in 71 innings. That is really good baseball, and it's not like there's not a precedent of him pitching very good in the major leagues. He goes to the National League where pitchers tend to get a little bit of a boost because they get to face the pitcher at least once through the order most of the time. So I think that Sonny Gray is going to have a really good season. And when you look back, when people are looking at what Sonny Gray is doing over there, they're going to hate him even more as Yankee fans. To answer the question you're saying, how can you explain that to me? And that makes me.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
How would that happen? How is getting him get Corey Kluber?
Yeah, but
isn't Shed Long a better prospect? Because this kid, Shed Long was in Double A and had good numbers in Double A. The Yankees got an outfielder. Yeah, the Indians need an outfielder.
Isn't that what they wanted?
Probably.
So why not?
But he drafted last season. He's not going to be ready. He just played in rookie ball, short league A, I think.
Yeah.
So there's no way he's an MLB player until 2020.
Well, they obviously got rid of Shed Long for him for some reason.
Because they didn't need another infield prospect, probably.
We don't need another outfield prospect. We got 100 of them.
You're right.
We still got Estevan Florial, who's going to be up probably.
You forget, though, that they have to fill quotas, so to speak, in their minors. Like, they need actual people to play certain positions in their minor league teams.
Yeah.
I get you're not going to have room in the outfield anywhere or room in the infield anywhere either one, but they still have to play somebody at short A or someone at single A.
Why not sign guys instead of trade for this guy? I mean, come on. Really?
I don't know. I feel like Shed Long was actually a pretty good prospect. I don't know. The fact of the matter is they got a first-round pick in the Gray deal, too. That's probably what they wanted the most. Probably be like in the 30s.
I don't know.
So that's good. I got one more if you want.
All right.
I got a question. I need to ask somebody.
When I walked in, we had lunch earlier today. When I walked in, why were you crying?
Right.
You were crying over the name of a ballpark. You were sitting there sobbing like a baby. Like, we got to hear a new name of a ballpark. Oh, my boo-hoo.
Yeah, Miller Park is becoming the American Family Insurance Park. The American Family Insurance, the American Family Insurance Park, or the AmFam Insurance Park, the AmFam Park, whatever. Like, why are you out of your mind? Yeah, what cracks me up is they're the Brewers. They played at Miller Park. Now, it's the Brewers. We were the Brewers. We played at the American Family Insurance Park.
Yeah, think about this to that point. Yeah, they were the Brewers, so it's like that's the name of the team, Miller Park. It's a beer company supplying it.
So now
it's
they
Family
become
Insurance.
the Milwaukee Insurers. They gonna change their name?
Maybe it's be safe with how much beer you're drinking today.
Why don't they name it Safe Light Park, and they could be the Milwaukee Safe Lighters?
Safe Light Repair. All right, anyway. We don't do sponsorship for them. But my point is, this is happening a lot. You see a lot of contracts. I believe AT&T contract was up. They're now Oracle Park. After Oracle Arena is no longer going to be the name of the new stadium there for the Warriors. And then I believe Safeco Field is no longer Safeco Field. It's going to be T-Mobile Park, something like that. So we're seeing this globally. Globe Life Park, globally. We're seeing this around the league because my mom went to Globe Life Park. It used to be the Great American Ball.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. No, that's Cincinnati.
That's Cincinnati. The American ballpark at
The
Arlington?
something like that.
Arlington.
The ballpark at Arlington or something. But my major thing is how you couldn't find another beer sponsor for Miller Park. Like, come on, really?
They should have just called up. Sorry, they should have called up Mercedes-Benz. They always,
Yeah, they got 2 stadiums. What's the third? Come on.
In the same sport, though. I know the soccer team plays there for Atlanta too, but I mean, come on.
Could they at least go with like Geico? It's the Geico Insurance Park, but the American Family Insurance. Come on.
It was the Rangers ballpark in Arlington.
Yeah, that
was it. And that was back in. So the Globe Life Park's actually been there since 2014. The sponsor. So I guess it really didn't have a name.
But don't you agree with me though? Isn't American the AmFam or whatever? Really?
Fantastic name. I love
it. It's a terrible name. Terrible name. Terrible. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I feel like we've been going
I want to go home. Let's go home.
A little
Eric.
bit long. You want to go home?
Yeah, let's go home. 5, 4, 3. Don't miss it. 2, 1. You nailed it.
Thank you. All right, Mike, anything else you have to say?
I don't. You?
All right, no. You can listen to all of our podcasts on 1045theteam.com/team1045. No, 1045theteam.com. Click on the podcast tabs. All our podcasts are there. You can go to youtube.com/team1045. And all our podcasts are in a Sittin Sportside Podcast. I'm Eric Hanman. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Mike James. Like, I was trying to have the most professional outro we've ever had on this podcast. That was one of the most professional outros I think I've ever had. I messed up. Don't get me wrong. I messed up. But it was pretty professional. We had the bed, and I was talking over it like I was doing a professional outro. And then now you come in and say it's random.
Because I was disappointed.
And I cut your mic, too.
Go.
I'm Eric Hanman. You can find me on Twitter at EricH1045. And if you want to tweet out Mike James, you can tweet out Mike James at MikeJames1045. Want to get in contact with just the podcast? Tweet at Sittin Sportside Tweets. No, it says Sportside Tweets.
It's just Sportside Tweets, Eric. Just Sportside Tweets.
I gotta say, I love the outros that we do.
They're almost better than the whole podcast.
Because people
themselves.
probably might listen to the outros just for the song. It's probably, shut up, guys! I'm trying to listen to the Matchbox 20. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it. Stay tuned. Keep listening to our podcast. We have a special announcement hopefully coming in the next month. That we're really excited. We're excited to possibly share that with you. So thank you for listening. And of course, as Mike James would always say, stay horny. Wait, what?
Stay classy, Cap Region.